I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or duder or, you know, El Duderino.
Welcome back, Slotcar family. Today I'm going to open up a can of worms. No worms in there. I'm going to open up a can of worms for the topic: how do you run in a motor? How should you run in a motor? What's the best way? Is there a best way? Now, going back about 10 years, this was a very highly discussed topic, also in Germany. And there was one of the main forums, it still is the main forum in the internet, where it was discussed. And it just went off topic completely because everybody added something. In the end, the perfect formula to run in a motor, and watch out now, listen closely, was it needs to be a full moon night to run in the motor. You need an open grave. Yes, an open grave. You need piss of a wolf while you dip in the motor. Yes. You need the hair of a virgin. Nobody found out why, but they just came up with it. And you need a dead cat. And nobody knows why or what the dead cat is for. Guys, girls, what I just wanted to say is there is no perfect way. There are a few physical things behind it, why you should run in a motor. The why is the brushes come in a square when the motor is assembled, and the shaft it runs on is a shaft. So you've got a square and the shaft. To run in a motor means that those brushes will become round so that they fit the shaft perfectly. That's all there is. Now, there are different ways of doing it. You can do it actively, or you can do it in a passive way. Now, active was already shown recently by Travis, my man down under. Travis, coming from the RC guys, you connect the motor you want to run in to some electrical supply. You start the power and then you dip it into water. Some would say distilled water is good. Some would say like alcohol with a very high percentage. Others say oil. Others say WD-40. Whatever. Try it. Basically, they all work. Of course, you can do it dry as well. Just connect the motor to power supply and let it run. What you will get is, of course, because this square of the brushes will be then shaped like a U to fit the shaft perfectly, means that there's some material going to be scrapped off. This material is going to collect in the motor, is going to sum up in the motor. And what you will see then is that if you do it dry, that sparks will show up if you're able to look into the motor. Now, those sparks is definitely the thing you want to avoid, because those sparks leave marks on the commuter. And this is what you absolutely don't want, because it's very hard to get rid of them. Now, this is all when you run in the motor in a so-called active way, under power. But of course you can run in your motor also not under power and still run it in. Now, what's the guy talking about? This has been around for quite a while already. At the UK Slotcar Festival, I got to know Ben from slotspoils.com, a great craftsman, a great engineer. And I told him my idea, and I said, can you do me like a a mock-up. Can you do me something like a test device so I can test it? So he thought about it, and we discussed it for 2 days actually during the UK Slotcar Festival. And he said, yeah, I'm gonna build one for you and you can test it. And here it is. Already set up with 2 motors on it, which means you have one active motor, which is this one in my case. So you're gonna put power on here, and the second motor, which is this one, that's the one I want to run in. So this will get power, and via the belt drive, this is running without being under power or without being electrified, so to say, just to get those brushes worked in. And I think it's a piece of art to me because it's very simple. Plus, there are 2 screws here, so you can actually move the belt or move this motor back and forth to either get the belt stronger or not. You don't want it too strong, otherwise you will bend the shaft of the motor you want to run in. Now, let's check it out, how it works. Here is the logo of Slot Spoils from Ben, who's an absolute enthusiast when it comes to slot car racing, presentation of slot cars, and innovations like his roller beds. Now, here is what the basic setup looks like. On the right-hand side of this picture, we have the motor that we will power up, fire up with electricity. On the left-hand side is the one that needs to be running. There are those 2 wheels that will be attached to the motor shafts, and there is the drive belt. So this is the motor that will be electrified. And as you can see, we can move that to the left and to the right to make the drive belt work at its best. On the left-hand side, also screwed in, is the motor that we will let run in. And this is what it looks like, the whole setup. This is what it looks like when it's powered up. The drive belt is not really to its full extension, as I don't want to bend the motor shaft of the motor that I run in. And as you can see, right-hand side, electricity applied, left-hand side, no electricity applied. And as I mentioned before, it's got to do with those little sparks inside, but we'll come to that in a minute. The setup is nice, small, smooth, very easy. It's just a piece of art, if you ask me. Again, simplified with the ideas that I had, or the idea that I had, and Ben just went for it and built it. I think this is something to watch out for in the future. It's small, it's handy, you can take it with you very easily. You can take it to races if there's a handout motor and you've got the time to run in your new motor that is handed out. The setup, again, very, very easy. You need to set up 2 screws into the motor that you want to run in. And the drive belt, again, we didn't expand it to the max, as I don't want to ruin the motor shaft of the new motor. Cheap, easy, good looking, and I mean, by craftsmanship, Ben did an excellent job. There you go. That's a top view again to show you what this looks like. And now we're gonna take a closer look onto the inside of the motor and to show you what those sparks are that we actually want to avoid. You can see it quite good here in the motor that's electrified and that's powering up the whole system. Now, don't forget to clean and flush the motor that you have run in after this process. Do it either with compressed air or do it with very high alcohol, like 99% alcohol or so. Slotcar family, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to press that subscribe button, hit that like button. Don't forget to leave comments, share, tell others. And of course, as always with Slotcar Dude, there is more to come.